Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Janelle.
How are you today?
I'm good.
So, what can you tell me what brought you in today?
Well, I work at Nordstrom, as you know, and it's kind of stressful this time of year because it's kind of slow. You know, the girls can be in my commission environment.
Talk a little
So, it's getting slow and we don't get paid by the hour, so the girls are getting really mean and nasty.
louder. Okay.
You know, life is stressful enough about the things we go through, and then we have some girls that are favored and get to kind of do what they want to do, and it doesn't always seem to help going to management because we look like we're complaining, and sometimes it backfires.
Oh, okay. How long have you been working there?
Since 2008 when we opened, and then, let's see, I left in 2010 May, and was going to come back in October after the slow summer, and I ended up taking off 2 years. So when I came back, we had a new manager and we had all new employees in my department. So when I came back, lots of customers knew me, and the girls were kind of jealous and gave me a hard time, and I don't think they've ever overcome that.
Okay. So, do you ever go to your manager and discuss your problems with her? What do you do about your frustration?
I went to the manager in the beginning, and it seemed to do no good. She's always stuck up for them.
When you say them, is there a particular person? Or?
There is one girl that's worked for the company a long time named Patricia,
Okay.
and she's from Bolivia, so she sometimes uses her ethnicity as a crutch where she feels like people would discriminate against her if we complain. So our old store manager always had the manager's backs, so I did end up going to human resources and things did get better. But seems like this one particular girl is just very jealous of people that sell more than her. So it causes an uncomfortable, stressful workplace.
Right.
And as we know, life is stressful enough.
Yes. So, how does that make you feel when she does that? Do you feel frustrated, angry? And if you can't go to your manager, does that make you hold your anger in and make you become more angered towards her?
Yes, I think so. I think when someone's not a team player and you're working really hard, doing all the things you're supposed to do, and then you see that someone doesn't really participate, it does cause a lot of animosity, for
Right.
sure. Luckily, more people are beginning to realize that this is a problem, so it is getting a little bit more noticed by our manager. But it's frustrating because work should be a place that we can go and try to make the best of it and make money and all get along.
Right. So, do the other girls have an issue with her, or is it just between you and her? You and Patricia?
Patricia definitely seems to have a grudge for me.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it started in the beginning when I came back and sold more than her. She's very jealous. I think she's very spoiled at home, and it carries over into the workplace.
Okay.
She doesn't really participate. She doesn't do anything else that the other girls do. So maybe one day it will be better. What do you suggest I do?
Well, since you already went to your manager and tried to discuss the issues with her, and obviously nothing has worked with that, and you've gone to human resources, is there any way that you can try to separate yourself from her, or you're just in that same department where it's always going to be you, her, and the other girls?
When I came back, and let's see, it was October 25th of 2012. They were so awful and rotten that I was in tears every single day. I almost switched to another department, but then I thought then she would win, so that wasn't the right thing to do.
Right.
So I stayed put and just keep trying to work through it every day. but it's frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. It seems that you're finding it difficult to do your job to the best of your abilities because
Correct.
you have all this other stuff that's worrying you and making you upset and everything.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Have you tried talking to Patricia about it?
I have tried talking to Patricia, and unfortunately, she then goes to our manager and tells her that all the girls are against her
Okay.
and makes up lies and says customers only want to work with her. I do think other people recognize this. For some reason, our manager won't approach her because she said it will hurt her feelings. So we need to make it right with the girl instead of the manager making it right with her.
Right. So it seems like your manager is kind of afraid of her.
I would say she definitely is. And top of it, our manager just got a promotion and now is in charge of 3 departments. So our manager
okay.
appears she can do no wrong.
Yeah.
So then we just look like complainers.
Right, and she's not going to listen to you guys if she's been there longer than you guys, right?
Patricia worked for the company at Mall of America for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
She came after I left. She wasn't there when I started.
Okay.
So my life's been very stressful, and I just want to go to work and try to have some fun and laugh and have a nice group of girls. Everyone else is very nice and happy. Some of them are very stressed and greedy, but
Right. Can you explain your relationship with her when you are working? Can you expand on that for me?
Patricia is the kind that says good morning, big hugs and kisses, pretends to be your very best friend, and then say you have an hour lunch and you take like 55 minutes instead of the full hour and come back, and she goes and tells the manager you didn't take your full break.
Okay.
She pretends to be very nice to your face and then goes to the manager and the other girls and says you aren't doing this right, you're not doing that right. Let's see. She doesn't participate in the other things that we need to do besides sell to do our job, but for some reason the manager allows that as well. She's not held accountable, I guess. Yet she's rewarded for her little bit she does do. So it doesn't really make for a rewarding work environment.
Okay, right. And if one person's not doing it and the other people are, that's going to cause some issues.
Right.
Okay, so what are the other jobs that you guys have to do that she doesn't participate in?
Let's see. Well, in addition to selling, we have to keep our areas clean. We have designated areas we're responsible for stocking and keeping clean, having supplies for our customers, bags, boxes, register tape, pens, anything that we need to keep doing. We have things we need to bring to the shipping department. She doesn't do that. We have orders we need to fulfill through the computer. She doesn't do those things. She takes 2-hour lunch breaks. She comes to work when she feels like it. But more, I'm not so worried about what she does as far as her lunches as the fact that she's constantly trying to make everyone, particularly myself, out to look like we're not doing our job, maybe to make it look like she's doing her job better.
Okay.
So her issues aren't really mine, just the way she treats me is what I'm concerned about. It's like she's out to get me.
And you just think it's you? How does she act towards the other employees?
I don't know so much. I don't really pay attention. I try to stay away from her as much as possible, but I do feel like she does the same, especially to when new people start. She's very jealous of prettier girls. She's overweight and self-conscious. I feel like maybe she's just unhappy with herself and lashes out on others.
Right, tries to take it out on others. Have you talked to the other girls about this?
Other girls have come to me, but we're told not to discuss our issues because then, we're told we're gossiping. So we're supposed to follow the chain of command, go to our manager, go to our human resources. So if I do go talk to the other girls, then it may come back on me that I am gossiping again, making her look like she's doing the right thing, and again, I'm not. So I'm very frustrated because I really don't have anyone to talk to. My friends outside of work and family don't really understand the situation because they're not there, and I don't want to be complaining to the other girls and ruining their morale at work as well. That's why I'm here to talk to you.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you came. And does this make you feel more relieved when you talk to me about it?
Absolutely.
Get all your feelings out.
Right.
Right. Do you think that you can go maybe to your manager or have human resources sit in on like a group chat with all of you, and all of you can sit down and really explain things, and instead of it going back and forth from one person to the other, you guys can all be there and discuss it?
I would love that.
Do you think that would make it better or worse?
I would be willing to try anything.
Okay.
We do have a new store manager, and our old manager was all about the managers. Now our new store manager is more out trying to help the employees and salespeople. So maybe this would be a good idea. Maybe I could make an appointment with him, maybe brief human resources, let them know I want to call a meeting, and maybe it would resolve lots of issues and clear the air.
Yeah, I think if you guys sit down and you discuss everything and get it all out on the table, this way she can understand where it's coming from, especially if it's not just coming from you and it's coming from other people, then she can understand, maybe see, oh, maybe I am doing this, or maybe I am doing that, or I'm not doing my side work like I should be. And she'll be able to understand that, and maybe it'll make it better in the workplace, and then you won't be so frustrated. And
maybe other people feel the same way I do, and I just don't know it.
Exactly.
So maybe it could be brought out.
Right. A lot of people don't really want to, sometimes they don't want to get involved, so maybe they're not telling the manager like you do. And, I mean, I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong.
No, but I feel you're right. These other girls would be scared to lose their job, maybe,
exactly.
or have, like, that retaliation fear.
Exactly.
So maybe if it was brought up, it would be wonderful to have a happy workplace.
Right, and maybe Patricia knows that you've gone to the manager. Maybe that's one of the reasons that she does this to you and treats you differently.
I don't know. I just don't even understand her. She comes from a family where she's been very spoiled, and I think her husband spoils her. So I think it's kind of her own personal issue. She doesn't have children, so I think she brings her personal stuff to work. Where I've just been through this awful divorce, and then I feel like work is somewhere where I can go and have nice friends and have nice customers, and I try to forget about the things going on in my life and have it as an avenue of my income as well as a social life.
Right.
So I want to forget about those things, but when I get there, there's even more stress. So I feel like maybe it's just her displaced anger, or she's so spoiled and she wants to be number one and she wants to be recognized. And more than being recognized, my work is I just want to go to work and be happy.
Right.
My recognition is my paycheck, not a pat on the back from my manager.
Okay. Do you do anything outside of work that can maybe relieve your stress, or?
No, I should, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could try yoga. That's great for you, or Pilates. That really relaxes you.
I'm relying too much on the job, probably. It's like I go to work and then I go home, but because of all the financial stresses, it's like I'm just really trying to focus on trying to make money and get things in order. So I need to probably set aside a budget where I can do some things for myself.
Right, or even just read a book or something. I mean, that could definitely de-stress you.
Go to the beach, you're right.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. Maybe if I was focused on other things, then it would help alleviate the stress I'm having with her.
Right.
But I think I will go talk to the managers. I think that's a good idea, and maybe I can look for some free classes at the Y.
Yeah, there you
These
go.
are some ideas.
Definitely check into that kind of stuff, because that can relieve your stress and not bring it all into the workplace, because when you're working, that's the last thing that you want, is to be more stressed.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, it's really hard.
Yeah. Have you gone to the store manager, like the overall?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so that can also be an option, and maybe he could even just he or she can sit in with you and her.
The one time I did go to Human Resources, after my manager screamed at me 2 years ago, she then yelled at me for going to Human Resources and not telling her. So I've really never been since, because I was scared to lose my job, and going through hard times, of course, is the last thing I would need is to worry about my job security.
Why do you think she screamed at you?
Because she probably got in trouble.
For going to the manager?
Well, she was awful to me and used, just foul language. She was rude. She yelled at me on the floor. So when I went and told the Human Resources about these things, she then got called into the office by them.
Oh, wow.
Instead of her and I trying to work it out like I wanted to. But this was 2 years ago, so I've sort of just tried to Just every day,
Just
just
yourself.
go and do the best they can do and hope that it would just dissipate. But now it's been, almost 2 years, and it's just so difficult to live stressful every day. It's like going there and having this anxiety every day about this crazy person. Like, what's going to happen tomorrow, and what is she going to say I did now? Or she tries to pass the blame to other people, and just constant fear of the next day. It's so difficult.
I mean, that must make it difficult for you to work in that kind of environment.
And then I come home stressed, and then it affects all areas of my life, because that's all I think about is this girl that's just so angry.
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for coming today, and I know that you have a lot of stress on your plate right now, and with Patricia at work and your managers. But I think if you have a discussion with everyone in a group, I think that can definitely relieve some of the stress, and you can get some of your feelings out.
I think that would help. And your suggestion of going and doing more outside of work, I think I'm going to do as well.
Good.
Even shopping or anything.
Yeah, anything to relieve the stress.
Right. Then I won't focus on it so much.
Right.
Thanks, Janelle.
All right. Thank you
Can
for
I come
coming
back next week?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.